Good morning. Good morning. Vic Simmons here, and yeah, this is going to be my first ever podcast, and I'm excited about it because one, I like talking. I was asking myself, like, man, how can I really kind of help people out with where I'm at in life? It's like I'm not a guru yet. I'm not. Anything special yet as far as in this industry. And, I think, I mean, not think, I know we all have to start like that, right? We all have to start somewhere where we are, And sometimes I think we look at some of the big dogs in the industry and we're like, golly, and you want to kind of scale to where they are at first. And I just know that, with anything that you want to accomplish in life, you got to first get started. So I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be cool. I don't really know how long it's going to go for, or, some days might be 10 minutes. Some days might be, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. I think I'm going to call it Morning Motivation with Vic Simmons, and actually, to be honest with you, I'm probably doing this to help me out because, I got a lot of stuff in me and I just want to get it out and inspire people and, let people know that, they're not alone with stuff that they're going through in life. And it'd probably be therapeutic for me as well to kind of get my thoughts out. So today is November 3rd, 2016. And I wanted to start it yesterday because I'm a 2 fan, meaning the second of the month fan. I think the new year starts, on the second. I mean, the first we're still kind of partying and, nursing hangovers or whatever. But, the new year really starts on the second. I mean, my birthday's on the second. I got married on the second, so the second's really a great starting date for me. And, didn't get it done yesterday, even though I decided yesterday on November 2nd. I'm actually starting a podcast on the 3rd. So what is this podcast going to be about? Well, I wanted to kind of help jumpstart people's day. Like I said, it could be therapeutic for me as well because, I start my mornings off putting on headphones, right? One of my favorite motivational speakers is Les Brown. I open my mornings, as soon as my 5 a.m. alarm goes off, I'm putting on headphones because, you're getting out of bed, especially as it starts getting colder, right? You're not feeling like getting out of bed and, things are colder and, if you got a warm body that you're sleeping next to, it just makes it even better, but harder when it's time to get out of bed. So putting on headphones in the morning to kind of, set the tone for my day, I find that to be very, very helpful, to kind of get your juices flowing. And also I take some supplements and stuff to kind of get going. But with this daily motivation or morning motivation, whatever I'm going to call this, I just want to the reach out to people to help them kind of start their day off good as well. And I don't know how many listeners I'm going to have. Used to be a basketball coach and well, still am, but I used to always tell kids, it's like, man, whether it is one person at practice, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 100,000 people, I'm going to speak as if the world is listening. So like I said, as of right now, who knows? No one might not be listening to me, but like I said, it might just be therapy for myself. So again, back to what these are going to be about. It's just to kind of help us jumpstart our day. Some different motivational tactics I want to share with you, how I kind of jumpstart my day and just really kind of get things get things kind of going on. And of course, we're entrepreneurs. If you're listening to this, you're a marketer, whether it's internet or network or affiliate or e-commerce marketer, whatever you're doing. I definitely want to share some different stuff and strategies along those lines too, so we can get educated. But so I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on with me. One, I'm an ex-college basketball player, right? And I actually have three daughters from 13. One's about to be 12 next month, and a 15-month-old, all girls, right? And so yesterday was a very important day for me because my 13-year-old is an eighth grader, and she's playing middle school basketball. And it's pretty cool. She's a starting point guard for the first team, and man, I was all nervous yesterday getting ready. I want the filmer for the games, and I'm nervous for her because I know that she's a hard worker, but she kind of lets her mind get in the way of her success sometimes, right? This is the girl who, will get up at 5:30 in the morning and do 30 minutes of ball handling. And for 2 years straight, she did 30 minutes of ball handling for 120 days straight for 2 years. So you can imagine like how impeccable her ball handling skills are, right? But she has the tendency to, when she gets on the basketball court or when it's time to showcase her skills or time to shine, her confidence isn't there. So she kind of plays at the same level as everyone else, right? And I don't know if you've ever done that. And I've done that too, as far as I'm working, I'm studying, I'm building something, but then when it's time to launch it, or if it's time to share it with people, or if it's time to, go out and really promote something that you're passionate about, you believe in, you've done your research, you've studied, you know it like the back of your hand. But when it's time to shine, sometimes, I think we get in our own way, and we've probably heard that before. You get in your own way. So with her, I'm really focused on, just trying to get her to be the best version of herself. It's like yesterday they blew the team out. She had a decent game. I think other people probably thought that she had a great game. But, as a father, I'm looking at her, and when she asked, how'd you think I did? And I was like, well, I think you did really good, right? In other people's eyes. I mean, I guess it's how do you feel? And she's like, oh yeah, I feel good. And then I was like, well, I think that you really only showed about 50% of your skills. So as a father, when I see that you only really showed half of your effort, it's hard for me to really be congratulatory to, to what we just saw on the basketball court, because I know you could give more. And again, as I talk to my kids, really a lot of the times I'm talking to myself too, because it's like, man, I could give more. I could do more. I'm only giving 50% or 60% of really my true potential. And I think a lot of us probably do that, right? I mean, ask yourself, do you do that? So, and it's a short season. It's only 8 games. So, I'm telling her, like, we really got to seize the moment, because this is going to go by really quick, right? Season's 8 games, 5 weeks long. It's going to go by really quick. And the last thing that you want to do is kind of look back. It's like, oh man, I wish I would have taken this chance or tried this move or, done this or that. And you really can't ever get it back. But it's hard to tell young people that. Just like I'm sure you were told stuff when you were growing up. Your parents like, oh, or your coach or a mentor or a teacher or whatever might have said, man, this time's going to go by really fast. And you're kind of like, oh, yeah. And that might be the stage that she's in right now. It's like, oh, yeah, Dad. And I think that's kind of a metaphor for our life too, right? I find myself at, 37 years old, realizing that, man, time is going to go by and it's going by really quick. So it's like we don't want to look back at our life saying, golly, what if, or shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? And probably have some of that. I mean, the older you get, you start getting shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And I guess the less shoulda, coulda, wouldas we had, kind of the more fulfilling our lives would be. And again, I don't know how many of you guys out there have kids, but I think eventually your words start falling on deaf ears. And I started kind of getting that feeling today, and I've been getting it a lot. It's like I was like, okay, Dad, whatever. The eyes are rolling and stuff, and of course it hurts my feelings, but then also at the same time, it's like, man, you got to really kind of let people go through their own lives. And again, like I said, I like to talk, I like to motivate, I like to encourage and give advice and different stuff, and also receive it as well, right? So that's why I was also saying at the beginning of this podcast, this might be a little more therapeutic for me because, if my kids aren't trying to hear it, maybe someone else out there is trying to hear, the message that I'm delivering. So I mean, that's kind of what's going on in my life right now. Another thing is, we're getting closer to the end of the year, and when I really look back at the year, I had a good year, but not a great year. And when you really start realizing that time's kind of running out, you want us to have more great years, and I believe that if you're going to eat an elephant, you got to eat it one bite at a time. So it's like we can't really focus on the year so much, or the decade, or your whole life. I mean, we got to focus it on the day. We got to focus it on, the hours, the minutes. And you really got to kind of break things down. So when you're getting started with anything that you want to accomplish, I think it's important that, one, have a dream, right? You got to have the overall dream. But then after you have the overall dream, you have to be able to break it down, right? We have to break it down into steps, or you can get overwhelmed. I don't know about you guys. We all have weaknesses and stuff. One of my biggest weaknesses, if I'm completely honest, is I have big dreams, but sometimes I get overwhelmed with the dreams. It becomes so overwhelming that it paralyzes me as far as taking steps. And then procrastination sets in, and then next thing you know, you kind of wake up and weeks have gone by and you're still kind of talking about this idea, possibly, or a task that you have to do that is still there, like it doesn't go away. And I think also a lot of it is we have to surround ourselves with people who want the same of what we're getting out of life, right? Birds of a feather flock together. Whether you're flocking to something positive or negative. I think energy is contagious, whether positive or negative. And it's important. It's important that we're associating with people who are of like mind and have similar goals or aspirations or just even desires. And I think that's what's also going to be cool about this podcast is you'll be talking with someone or listening to someone on a daily basis who's of like mind. Like I said, I don't know how you would be listening to this podcast, or how you heard about me, or just the reason that you're kind of tuning in, but there's a reason, right? There's a lot of people who are talking about different topics, about whatever. Some people are serious, political, religious, just comedy, whatever it is. But there's a reason that you're tuning into this right now. There's a reason that you're, that you're listening, and probably it's because you relate to something that I'm saying, or you are someone of the same mind as me, right? The same like mind as I am. So really excited about this. Actually, it's gonna force me to stay committed. It's going to force me to eliminate procrastination. And then also I want to grow from here because, like I said, my mission on earth is to inspire people. I think Zig Ziglar hit it right on the head. Like, you can have anything you want in life if you just help enough others get what they want, and the Empower Network is an organization that I first got in of its kind ever, you know, um, and there was something about it that drew me to the organization, and there's a lot of whatever going around with any company, but at the end of the day, um, I think it's the products that are very important, and they sell information products, stuff that's going to help us grow and help us build our businesses and ultimately help us live the life that we're trying to live. So that is what I'm into. That is what my basis is as far as the key to helping me live the life that I want, but then also the knowledge base that I'm getting a lot of my information from as far as learning marketing, right? But it expands so much farther than that because Dave Wood and the team and the people that are around them, um, are around them as in the Empower Network organization, the people are of like mind, right? And anything that you want to accomplish in life, it's going to take effort and being surrounded by people, like I said, of like mind. I keep saying that over and over again. So I think I'm rambling now. So this is going to end the first podcast. And like I said, my name is Vic Simmons. It's going to keep getting better and better. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So I'm starting. I think maybe I'll look back at this a year from now. It's like, oh, wow, you've gotten better. But honestly, again, if you want to contact me personally, please do. Victor@victorsimmons.com. I'll even throw my number out there for people who are really serious and they're wanting to contact me. It's 913-731-8241. And thank you for being with me today, November 3rd, 2016, Morning Motivation with Vic Simmons podcast. Make it a great day. Until next time, take care. Be well.